Anirudh, you can start.
All right, okay, cool. So for those of you who didn't hear, my name is Anush Chaudhary. I am a junior at Cupertino High School, and I'm the CHS branch manager for folding at Silicon Valley. I'm here with Ethan Zhao.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm the president and founder of Folding at Silicon Valley, and I'm a sophomore at Saratoga High School. I really hope you enjoyed the presentation, and if you have questions, there's an FAQ section at the end of this presentation, and you can feel free to ask questions anytime in the chat.
Right. So let's just explain really quickly what COVID-19 is and what it is as a pandemic. So it's a virus that's extremely contagious and uses its genetic library as RNA, as compared to our DNA, which is our genetic library. It spreads via airborne droplets and can live for long times on some surfaces, which is why it's really important to wear masks, face masks, whenever you're going outside. It's established outbreaks in many countries almost simultaneously worldwide, almost at the exact same time around the world. And so more than 2.3 million worldwide cases have been found as of today, which is staggering, seeing as how it's just this early in the year. It afflicts the respiratory system, especially in the elderly and people with pre-existing health conditions such as asthma. Many of the infected do not have symptoms, meaning they're asymptomatic. And this allows for COVID-19 to spread almost undetected. And sadly, the prediction is that there will be 2 million deaths. So let's just explain the infection process. Once entering the host cell, the RNA is able to translate into some viral proteins. These viral proteins then assemble themselves and create an exponential number of more viruses, which then break out of the cell through a lytic form and then infect more and more cells. So exponentially growing inside of each host organism. COVID-19 specifically targets the respiratory system and can lead to a permanent decrease in lung capacity. So now let's get to proteins, which is why we're here. Proteins are one of 4 large macromolecule families. They're made up of amino acid monomers and sequences that make up polypeptide chains. These polypeptides then fold onto each other, creating secondary, tertiary, and quaternary structures, making the proteins that we know. Proteins function in so many different ways in living organisms. They make up the hair, nails, fur, skin in its keratin form. They help with fluorescence, and they're extremely important in the central dogma, the translation and transcription process, which turns DNA into functional proteins. It's also extremely essential in cancer research and inhibiting cancer in p53 oncogenes. Proteins are made of thousands and thousands of atoms, meaning there's going to be millions and millions of interactions between these atoms. And to study these interactions, it's nearly impossible to do manually without the help of computers. So what is folding at home? Well, this is a protein folding program developed by Stanford University in the year 2000. It created one of the world's most powerful supercomputers and was the first computing system to surpass 1 exaflop, or 10 to the 18th flops of performance. It uses spare computer resources to simulate protein folding, and each user simulates a small snapshot of the protein and sends it to the next computer. This snapshot is called a work unit, sort of like passing an Olympic torch. This folding at home project has led to many breakthroughs in other protein diseases such as Alzheimer's, cancer, Parkinson's, Huntington's, prions, and many, many more. It also assists in finding binding sites for protein inhibiting drugs, which is essential for pharmaceutics. So just going into a more visual sense, imagine this one green block is the whole project. It consists of a protein folding or interaction simulation. Well, what folding at home does is it breaks this project into its work units, as seen with these smaller squares. Each work unit is then sent to remote computers all across any sort of team or group. And they're able to work on these work units on a smaller scale that works with the capacity for each computer. Each work unit will then be completed based off of the results of the previous completed work unit, which goes back to the example of an Olympic torch. And eventually this produces results that scientists can use for their own research. So now, why do we fold? Well, first of all, it increases knowledge about how diseases work, and it accelerates research progress towards towards a COVID-19 cure, which I'm sure we all really, really want at this point. It's also one of the first steps in protein-targeted drug research and can really help again in this pharmaceutical area. And each day of progress can really save tens of thousands of lives. And it's sort of well known that folding at home it's very intensive on your own computer, and it does increase the price of your power bill. But I think that's a bargain if you think about saving the lives of thousands and thousands of people all across the world. So let's get into the logistics of how to fold, how to sign up. So first, you have to download Folding at Home from foldingathome.org for your respective OS, so Windows, Mac, or Linux. Then create a profile. Once it's downloaded, it'll open up in your search engine, and you have the option to create a profile and a passkey under the option Change Identity. This way, you can track your own contributions. Then you can join our team, which the information will be in the next slide, to pool our points together. This way, we can increase in rank as compared to the other thousands and thousands of teams. This is also explained more in our explained in more detail on Folding at Silicon Valley's site. If you have any questions regarding the sign-up process or any questions about your account, you can always contact foldingatsiliconvalley@gmail.com. So if you have a QR scanner, you can always scan this. Our team number is 251691, and the bit form is bit.ly/2USFNTW. Thank you for joining, and together we can beat COVID-19 using Folding at Home. Thank you.
So that was free. Oh, okay. Wait, did someone have a question?
Yeah, I want to hope that you can show your Folding at the SiliconValley website and also Folding at Home. The website shows people how to really join.
Yeah, I can actually share the doc or the slides with everyone.
He's presenting.
So if you copy this link, you can you can view the document and click on the links and get any other information that you might have missed during the presentation. So does anybody have any questions off the top of their head?
So this is our Folding at Silicon Valley site. So it's full of useful information, but like why Folding at Home is important, our current leaderboard as well as general trends in ranking and number of work units, our leadership team right here, then some previous and future events here, then a guide on how to start with the corresponding application form, then a really nice FAQ for anyone who has problems.
Could you explain what exactly, if you join, what exactly we need to do?
Oh, okay. So on the site, you would go to the How to Start page, fill out this form in the application form. So then once you're done, you don't need to wait to start folding. Then go back to the How to Start, install Folding at Home. So it'll take you to the official Stanford site. So then click Start Folding at now. Start Folding now. Then download the installer. Then once you have it installed, it will open up. It will open up this web controller. So it'll look like this. And this is where you can prioritize COVID-19 research, change your folding power, and like only have it folding while you're idle, and and you can also track the number of points here. Then one last thing. So under change identity, click get a passkey. Then you put in the username you want to use as well as your email. Then if you check your email, Fully at Home will have sent you an email with your passkey so you can track your points. So then paste your passkey here, put your username here, then put our team number of 251691 in, hit save, and then you'll be contributing to medical research against COVID-19.
So do you mean they use our computer, some kind of a computer capacity? Am I right?
Yes. So essentially, well, like during general use, like video conferencing or Google Docs or watching YouTube, like not 100% of the resources of your computer are used. So Folding at Home takes those spare resources and dedicates them to protein folding.
Okay, thank you.
Also, one more thing. So once you've started folding, the leaderboard updates every several hours. So this is a leaderboard of everyone who's folding and their current progress. So the more powerful your system is, and the more you fold, the higher you'll rise on the leaderboard. Currently, our team ranking is 5304, which means which is 5,304 out of 251,000, which means we're in the top 2.1% of teams.
So Ethan, Anirudh, please check the chat part. I type the questions as a registration form.
Okay, yeah. So what inspired me to join Folding SiliconValley? Well, I was introduced to this from Sherry and by Ethan. And this is exactly the sort of area that I'm really interested in, protein folding and research in this area. And so for me, this was a really great opportunity to sort of understand and make a difference. If it's not really doing anything specifically besides letting it run on my computer, I felt that it was really cool to sort of be involved on the front lines of this. Yeah, so yeah. So you specifically, the question is, what would I be doing to help out with this project? Well, first of all, you wouldn't be doing anything specifically. It's more what you're doing to allow your computer to do. So you're allowing your computer to help compute high throughput data, and in this way you can help scientists with research in this area and specific diseases. Right, and then so for motivating teams at this unprecedented time, I mean, it really is up to the individual. Whatever motivates them, even if this isn't their interest, they can always. I feel like knowing that it's like they're next up in line to make a difference. I think that personally would motivate you to do something. That's sort of the motivation behind joining Folding in SiliconValley.
All right, so I'll answer this last question. So Folding at Home is something called a distributed supercomputer. Basically, it's not like one of those like rows and rows of main, but instead it's the workload is split into smaller units to be given to anyone who has a computer and installs the distributed computing program. So basically. Oh, sorry, I was muted. Okay, so I can answer this last question. All right, so basically Folding at Home is something called a distributed supercomputer, which means it's not made of like rows and rows of mainframes. Instead, the computing aspect is the home computers of thousands of people. So how it works is that, as Anirudh said, each large like project is split into smaller work units, which are given to individual users. It's a highly efficient way of getting stuff done, and it's really cost efficient as well. Also, I've noticed that some have questions about security about folding at home. So folding at home has been released for over 20 years. It's been regularly updated, and new features have been added almost every time. It's extremely secure, and it poses minimal risk to your computer. Are there any other questions?
Okay, I just unmute everyone. So if you have question, you can ask now. But if you do not have question, please do not. I just heard someone play piano. Now everyone can ask a question. If no more questions, yeah, we can end the meeting, and later on, if any question, you can email us, email Ethan or email Anirudh.
Oh wait, there's one more question. So it says, do you leave the computer on during the night as well? So if you're not planning to use it during the night, it is absolutely an option to leave it on like folding like during the night. But it's not necessary. You can always have it off during the night and resume folding in the morning. But at night, you'll be able to fold more and take use of like time that would otherwise just be dedicated to sleeping. Since each work unit takes several hours to complete, that's an opportunity to complete multiple work units in a single night of sleep.
So you can try to do that community research.
Also, all this research, all this folding isn't in vain. So in folding at home, you can actually view which project you're contributing to. So currently, I'm contributing to project 13879. And Folding at Home has more detailed descriptions of their projects by number on their sites. They also release periodic summaries of research progress. Wait, am I sharing my screen? Shoot, I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry. Okay. So basically, if you go to foldingathome.com/news, then they release regular research updates about what's happened. Also, yeah, here's a folding at home client with a project name. Then it's got a link. They have more detailed descriptions in their sites of what exactly you're folding for. Oh, okay. So there's one more question. What's the average increase in cost of the electricity bill per month? Just curious. So this depends widely on your system. So for example, if you have like a MacBook or some other laptop, the increase will probably just be a few dollars per month. But if you have a desktop, the increase in your power bill might be higher, especially if you have a more powerful system or a dedicated GPU. It really depends on like your folding power, how much you're folding, and the power draw of your system. So, are there any other questions? So if there aren't any more questions, I think it's time to conclude the meeting. So once again, here's a link to our site, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me. Also, here's a link to the presentation. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to contact me. Wait, so Anirudh, do you have any other things to say?
So I think you touched upon every major point. I think, yeah, I mean, as long as everybody has gotten down where all the resources are, if they have any other questions logistically, I think we're good.
Aloshir, are there any other questions?
No. So
All right.
I think we can end.
All right, great. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our meeting today, and I really hope you'll be able to join folding at Silicon Valley. Wait, everyone's